Hello everyone, greetings from sunny Bali where I turned 26 recently, and every year when I have birthday I'm thinking about how my life was like, what have I learned, and that's why I actually created this video, because there are some things I would love to hear when I was a teenager, when I was 15, 18, 20, and I feel like with 26 I've already collected quite a few experience, and that's why I would like to share them with you. If you're older, I don't think that those lessons are actually less important in higher age. In fact, I think they're kind of timeless. The first thing I would love to hear is that I have enough time for everything. If I want to start new habit, new relationship, if I want to start new career, there is never too late. And even if you're 60, you can start new business. Yesterday I met a lady and she started a new restaurant in Indonesia. She was from Italy when she was 63 years old, and I think this is fantastic proof that it's never too late to anything, because at the end we don't even know when our life ends, and if you feel like with 23 it's too late for something, then that's just nonsense. Don't worry. Nourishing your relationship with yourself and your self-love is extremely important, and it's fundamental for everything you want to start. If you really love yourself, then through difficult, tough and turbulent times, you will find peace and stillness in your mind, in your body, and you feel just much more confident and you will feel more confidence in the universe and in yourself. And sometimes this self-love is not given to us and we really need to work on it, and it feels like a really long process, but at the end it pays off so much, because we came alone to this world and we will leave alone as well, and therefore we should have and we should always strive to have the best relationship with ourselves. Ask for forgiveness, not for permission. And in fact, most of the time the things go better than we thought, and people even appreciate more if you're brave and you have the courage rather than if you're shy. And often we are stopped by people telling us what we should do and what we should not do, and it stops us from living to our full potential. And often it's just better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. Being weird is your superpower. If you feel like you stand out and you're a little bit different than people in your college, in your class, in your team, then there's nothing wrong with it, as long as you treat people with respect and you're nice to others. But if you feel like your hobby is a little bit different, or you look a little bit different, and your mindset is a little bit different to the others, it's nothing wrong about it. Being different is actually your superpower, and you will notice that with age people follow the same career, follow the same steps in the system, follow the same scenario, like study, work, having kids, and retire when they are 65. And if you're different, there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, you should scream to the world, I'm different and I do things differently, because at the end it will make you more memorable, and I really believe if you nourish it, then it will make you more happy and more successful as well. Your life can absolutely change ups and down to up. Can I say it like that? If you put effort, energy and work into practice, and you dedicate the time to yourself, you can, even if you come from really poor background and you're not physically fit and you are not educated in something, and you strive for a better life, for a better house, for a bigger house, for a happy family, you can achieve anything. But yes, often it requires a lot of self-work, a lot of therapy, and maybe long hours working. But sometimes when we want something, we cannot even imagine that, and the universe is so abundant. We just need to work on ourselves. But I want to give you the hope that if you really want something, your life can change like 180 degrees. Believe me, I was there. I'm there. You know me, that I am a passionate traveler, and travel as much as you can is the best advice I can give to anyone, whether you're in teenage age or you're older, because traveling to different corners of the world will give you so much experience and so much understanding, so much respect toward different cultures, toward different mindsets, toward how people live differently, how things differently, and maybe you even appreciate your own country much more when you come back, and you will maybe appreciate more your roots. Anyway, traveling as much as you can, it's valuable experience which no one will actually take away from you, and it will expose you to a lot of situations which might be even stressful or different or uncomfortable, but this is where the personal growth starts. And getting comfortable with discomfort is really valuable, and it will help you to expand your horizons so much, because often when we stay in this comfort zone, we have all the nice things, we don't have the inner fire to work for something more and more. And getting comfortable with a little bit of discomfort, like this little stress, will help us to push further. Of course, nothing should be excessive, not excessive discomfort whatsoever, but constantly searching for things how to get better will bring better results in your life. When I was 16 years old and I didn't know what to do, what I want to pursue, what career and what school I want to study, I'm sure you'll be there. Firstly, I want to tell you that it's completely normal, and even though it seems that everyone around you has figured it out, don't worry. People sometimes seems like that, but the inner voice is unfortunately unhappy and unfulfilled. So don't feel like everyone else has figured it out. And it's completely normal if you don't know what you want to do and where you want to live. It's completely fine. However, seek the advices from people who are where you want to be. So if you, let's say you want to be an entrepreneur, talk to entrepreneurs, don't talk to employees, because they will give you completely different point of view. I'm not saying that don't listen to them at all, but listen to the people and obey people who are where you want to be. And often when we're teenagers, we listen to advices from every single corner, but this doesn't serve us, and we should be able to selectively listen to people which we want to be like in the future. Learn how to deal with people. Learn about the psychology, about the persuasion, about the manipulation. Learn how people think, what are their motivations, what triggers them. Just learn about the psychology of humans, because you will interact with people in every single area in your life, in your private life, in your public life. And if you know how to deal with people well, then this will help you so much to grow in your career, or to find really supportive friends. And just learning how people think, it's one of the most fundamental things, just right after your health. It is one of the other things I absolutely have to recommend to you. Take care of your health, take care of your physical and mental health as well. Maybe when we are in the teenage age, we feel like if our skin is not perfect, this is the worst thing which can happen. But often we need to think of our body from the holistic point of view. That if, for example, we have acne and we have some skin problems, then probably there is something wrong in our body. And taking care of our body, listening to what our body is telling us, is not often easy, but it's very important to start listening to our body, because health is just the fundamental for everything what we are doing. In fact, if you're healthy, then you have 1,000 problems, but when you're ill, when you're sick, then you have only one single problem, and it's to get healthy again. I was the child which was a little bit afraid of people, even though it didn't look like, but I was often really afraid to approach people, to talk to them, because I grew up with this mindset that people are kind of mean and I should always expect something bad from them. And I learned over the time that people are good, and if you treat people with respect, then in 99% of the cases people will treat you nicely as well. If you need to ask for help, then in most of the cases people will be able and willing to help you. And just don't be afraid of people. It's something which can really make your life much better. It can help you to find more peace in your life, find more firm friendships, and it can make you more confident in whatever you're pursuing, whether your hobby or your career. When I was a teenager, I had this constant feeling of FOMO, fear of missing out, especially when some of my friends went out and I was checking the social media and I felt like I'm missing out something extremely important. And I want to tell you that if you decide to stay at home on Friday evening or Saturday evening, it's completely fine. And in 99% of cases, you're not going to miss out anything important, because where is a lot of alcohol involved or even drugs involved, then there is nothing such important thing for you which would significantly change your life. So if you feel like you're more about to stay at home, don't worry at all and don't feel the fear of missing out, and rather enjoy that time, embrace it, to be with yourself. Uphold your principles, maintain it and keep it and support it. If you feel like you have something what is extremely important to you, you might encounter the peer pressure when people try to persuade you to do something differently. However, if you really uphold your principles, people will not only respect you much more, but you will get much more confidence in yourself. And especially nowadays, when people often change opinion about something like instantly, very quickly, if you stick to one thing and you really uphold it, especially in your life principles, this is such important trait in personalities that people will treat you extremely well if they notice that you have your own principles and you don't want to break them. Something what is extremely difficult if you're a teenager and then maybe you finish your university and you start new era of your life, then naturally you might encounter new friendships, and it feels like the old friends you were the best friend forever in your primary school is not your best friend anymore, or they have different hobbies and so on. And sometimes it feels really sad, but we feel that we have outgrown some people. And I want to tell you that even though it's really sad and heartbreaking, sometimes it's important to say goodbye to some people, because they just hold us back from our full potential, or they don't understand our needs, because we evolve. And that's such an important thing to hear, that if you were the best friend with someone when you were in the kindergarten, then probably when you're 30 years old or you're 20 years old, then you don't have the same hobbies anymore. And it's just natural. And while I still think that maintaining old good friends is extremely important, well, you don't have to feel completely guilty if some of the people are just gone from your life. In fact, over the time you will realize that maybe in your teenage you had so many friends, and once you get a little bit old you feel like, okay, I have fewer friends. But I would always suggest you and recommend you look for quality and not for quantity. Taking on new responsibilities in your school, in your college, in your work will always bring you further, and always, and very often majority of people actually puts hands away from new responsibilities and new tasks. But believe me, if you are willing to put a little extra effort, people always evaluate this extra effort, whether it's your boss, your colleague, your teacher, your partner. And taking on new responsibilities can be very life-changing, and you never know where it can bring you. I wish that when I was younger, I would take in more time to building a skill that I can easily monetize. And I feel like when you're a teenager, you have much more time to like trying out and see what works and what not. But finding a skills which you can monetize and you can make maybe a living out of is really important. It will, if you find such a skill already in your college or your high school, it will set you ahead. You probably will be even much more ahead than your teachers. There is a great book about that, Psychology of Money. I will link all my book suggestion under this video. Don't taking things so seriously is one of the most valuable advice I can give to you. And when you're 18, you feel like you failed something or your relationship ended and you feel like, oh my God, like my life has ended, it's over, game over. But don't taking things so seriously. You will learn it over time anyway, but it will help you to see the life as more sort of like a game. And I think you will get much more joy out of life and out of the everyday little things. And that's why not taking life so seriously will give you much more ease and humor even in very difficult situations. You can say no to new opportunities, which even seems like extremely shiny and important, because behind every single no, there can be even bigger opportunities which can bring you more money, more fulfillment, more opportunities, and so on. For example, me, when I was a teenager, I was actually, maybe from my childhood, taught to say yes to almost everything because I felt this peer pressure. But if you say no and if you learn how to put some boundaries, it's just fine. It's just fine to say no. That's what I want to say. No one gives a fuck about you. I want to say that often we think, oh, what will people think about me if I do this? But with the time you will realize that people just care about themselves. If you do something silly on the street, people maybe take a look at you, but in 5 seconds they will already look on a different place and they will forget about the silly thing you just have done. It's just because people have so much stress, so much worries about themselves, their families, their work and their responsibilities and so on, that you will realize that no matter what you do, you don't really affect anyone and no one really cares about what you're doing and what you're saying. Even though it might sound really harsh, but it's true. Investing in yourself is the best thing you can do, especially if you're a teenager. And I'm not meaning that you have to buy more expensive shoes or more expensive bag or better iPhone, but investing in your education, in your skills and in courses, conferences, or whatever you feel like it will uplift you will pay off so much. And investing in yourself doesn't only mean that you will pay extremely expensive college for you, but it also means that you will treat yourself nicely. But it means that you will be also mindful about how you spend your money, where you allocate your money. And investing in yourself while creating some safe funds, it's some advice you definitely should follow. Document your life as much as you can. Believe me, do as many photos and videos as much as you can. However, don't forget to live your life. And often we experience beautiful sunset or sunrise and we are taking so many pictures to look on them after. I don't mean really documenting that thing. I mean documenting your progress. If you have decided to start salsa classes, film yourself since the day one, even if you feel like I don't know how to dance, or if you start going to the gym and you feel like you're out of shape, take a photo, take a video, and do it constantly to just see and document your progress. You don't have to upload it, you don't have to share it with the world, but do it for yourself. Document your life, document all your baby steps, because it will help you to motivate you in the times where you feel like you're losing motivation. Try new things, try to do as many things as possible, really. That's my advice when you're, especially in your 20s or your teens. Try some silly things like bungee jumping if you feel like, and try learning new languages, try to travel to different countries, try as many things as possible. You will see what you don't like and what you don't like, what you enjoy, what you don't. But trying new things will I don't even find words how important it is for you and for your personal growth, really. Also once you're trying those new things, don't only trying new things and jumping from one to another, try to also find habits. Try to set really nice habits which compound over time. And such an example for a nice habit can be going for a walk into the woods every Sunday, or having brunch with your family every Sunday, or working out every second day. Just building some habits which compound over time. It's something extremely important for your life, and sometimes it requires as little as 5 minutes of your day, like journaling or meditation or something. But maybe if you have read the book of Atomic Habits, you might realize how important it is to make some habits. If you're a teenage, as I said, don't think so seriously, but have fun. Try to have as much fun as possible. Try to laugh as much as possible. Try to do silly things. Being in the joy and having fun, it's not just having fun, but it's biologically make you more attractive. It will make you more happy. It will give you much more energy. Like having fun, having quality time with your friends, your family, doing sports or doing whatever makes it fun, it's really important. And the last thing is just follow what you love. If you feel like you want to be a YouTuber, go for it. If you feel like you want to live in Iceland, just go for it. I feel like the people and the society always tells us what we should do, what we should not, and everyone knows everything the best. But I feel like the more we are asking ourselves what we want and we more follow it, we feel like we are much more calm and we feel much more confident and we find much more joy in every single day. And this is the end of the video. I'm really curious about what would you tell your younger self, and share it please with us under this video. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in the next video.